What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great weekend, a great Sunday night. But we are here to finish off the free agent series with, of course, the safeties, a very important position to the Philadelphia Eagles. But look, I appreciate all of you tuning in. We are not live here tonight, but still love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. But we're going to jump right into this bad boy. Got all the information you need with the cap space, draft picks, of course, who the Eagles have currently at safety, then the full list of free agents, all 61 of them, unrestricted, restricted, exclusive rights. We'll explain those. And then, of course, the top fits here. So let's jump right into this bad boys, and got some news too, because it was going to be 22, but let's jump in this with the cap space and draft picks. And look, I think that, both are important here because the Eagles will be looking to draft somebody at safety. I do hope. So we've got the ammo there, and we've got the ammo when it comes to free agents. So we got to wait for the draft, but we know when that time comes, we've got the ammo. Now, right now, we're sitting on $42.9 million. So the Eagles have a lot of cap space. We talked about ways they can create even more. The Eagles will be fine and dandy to sign whoever they please. And I do hope they get themselves a stud at safety because, well, we've got some things going on there that have me a little bit worried here. So let's take a gander at what the Eagles have currently at safety. And look, they have Sidney Brown, who I think is somebody, very excitable for the future. And, unfortunately banged up at the end of the year last year. So probably start the year on the pup list. Probably not be able to see him for a few weeks. So that sucks. Reed Blankenship, I love Reed, but he definitely had his struggles. I would like to see him as like the third safety. But look, unfortunately, that's what we've got. Tristan McCollum, a reserve future signing who, ended up on the practice squad being elevated for those games last year in the playoffs, and hopeful for his future. But Byard just signed with the Chicago Bears. So right before I was able to make this show, so I didn't get to change the graphic, but he is now with the Bears. Justin Evans is still a free agent here. So you can see the Eagles need help at safety, and they know that. So I would like to see them getting a younger guy in the draft, some younger guys in free agency, maybe some veteran help. So we need a lot to talk about here. So let's take a look at this full list of all of the safeties. And if you got anyone you like, feel free to comment down below what you like about them, what you don't like, whatever is on your mind. Love to hear from you. But we'll start it off with the exclusive rights guys. These are the guys with the 2 years or fewer, and usually undrafted guys, but they either signed, if they are tendered, that minimum contract with their team, or they just don't play. So they don't have to be tendered. We'll see if these guys, if they're not, they become unrestricted. But it's ways for teams to keep their homegrown talent. Restricted, that is 3 years. And again, usually undrafted guys. But if not, you have those 3 tenders that you can place on them. You can match the offer if you're the other team. You can put a round on them, first round, second round, wherever they were drafted. If they're undrafted, you don't get anything. So that's with the restricted guys. But if there's no tender on them, they become unrestricted. And that's 4 or more years with these guys where they can sign with whoever they want. And now Kyle Duggar, they put a transition tag on him. Now, what that is, the franchise tag is 5. The top 5, that is the average pay of what they're getting paid that year. This is the top 10. But the transition tag, someone else can sign them. Like, you can still try to sign him, but they can match that offer. So we'll see what happens there. But definitely a very talented guy. And there is a lot of talented safeties here. Again, Kevin Byard signing with the Bears, so he is no longer a free agent. But you've got a lot of starting caliber guys here. And I've got another list of 30 more safeties here. You've got about 26, I think, here. And a lot of guys that could come in here as starters, some guys that could help you as depth, but most of these guys here would be starters for us with, the injuries and things we have. But again, I would look into the draft as well, but some help in free agency would be nice. And you can see this next list. This left side here, you've got a bunch of former Eagles here. So some of them, have definitely developed well. Some veterans still kicking ass. Rodney McLeod, Trell Edmonds looked all right in Tennessee. Same with Kayvon. Jeremy Reeves continues to look well in Washington. But you've got a bunch of guys, Jamal Adams, I think he's definitely a little burnt there, but maybe you can use him in different ways. Marcus May, if he could stay healthy. Ashton Davis, I really like. There's definitely some depth pieces here if you're looking for more, than just a starter. So I wouldn't just be getting depth, but there's a lot of choices, as you can see here, that full list. But I did have 22 because I was going to talk about Kevin Byard. He was going to be on my list. And I think, my point was that you can bring back players, but I don't know that he would want to. And I think we cut him so early to give him an opportunity to test his market. He's going to go get paid somewhere. I think the Eagles were ready to move on. A bad trade, things like that happen. So unfortunate, but this got changed into 21. I was able to fix that quickly, but I wasn't going to change everything else. Took out his graphics, so that was simple enough. But we got 21 now. Let's jump right into this bad boy, and I would love to hear your thoughts throughout this. Let's jump into it with a number 21 here. And I know this is, a big name. A lot of people excited about Quandre Diggs being released, but 31 years old. And look, I do like Quandre Diggs. I am a fan of his game. A 5'9", 197, one of those guys that can help you out, a free safety more so, but he's a versatile piece that can play some strong safety, some nickel. You can line him up all over the place. I do like that versatility about him. And, if you're looking for veteran help, wouldn't be against it. Obviously, he played with Slay in Detroit there. So they have a friendship. But I think, if you're looking for help, there are much better options. I am a fan of Quandre Diggs. I wish we could go back a few years. But, I'm kind of trying to shy away from the older veterans. I would like to get a little bit younger, but there are some older options here. If they do want to get younger and older, I'm not against that. Just make sure you're getting some of these younger pieces. And, somebody with some experience here, 5 years in the league, undrafted, signed by Houston Texans back in 2019. And this dude, obviously his wife is Simone Biles, so big things going on there for him. But I thought he was somebody in Houston that, really impressed me. Went to Green Bay and kind of fell down the depth chart. I have a lot of talent. We actually have a few Green Bay safeties to talk about here. So I like Jonathan Owens, and I think he would be cheap. And I think you could bring him in here, and he could not only help you as depth, but a possible starter. I think there's still some things to unlock. Yeah, he's 28 years old, but one of those versatile pieces that you could line up, I think, in a plethora of ways. And I'm a fan of Jonathan Owens. I do think that, given some time in the right system, he could do much better than what he has. And again, he's more of like a run stopper, so he's not a coverage guy. I would really be using him more so, in that big nickel dime kind of packages. And we need somebody, that's going to be able to play the hybrid safety we talk about. It's left and right. It's not really free safety, strong safety, but I don't know that he fits that bill too much. He kind of struggles in coverage at times, but did okay last year. And he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He is a playmaker, but better options for me. Now at number 19, I know some of you are going to be like, what the hell? Because you would like to see him much higher, but had his struggles, only played in 3 games in the regular season last season. And look, CJ Gardner-Johnson, when he was here, I loved him, but he talked a lot of negative things about the city of Philadelphia, did not like the place, had his car stolen, and obviously we tried to give him a deal. He was obviously under an agency that didn't know what they were doing. Things fell through, so unfortunate. But for me, I don't know that he wants to come back here. Now, I would take him back if he wanted to. I just don't know that it's a fit anymore, just because of how it felt and the way he still talks. So I'd love to have him higher on this list, but the truth of the matter is he doesn't stay healthy. So I'm not one of those people that feels like, oh, we got to get him back. We got to get younger and go different, directions with the health wise. And he's 26. So I still have hope for him, not to knock him. I do like, his game, his versatility, but I think there's some better options just due to the fact that, he's kind of already spoiled there. So let me know how you feel about CJ Gardner-Johnson. Would you like him back? I just feel with his injuries, for us, he, missed a bunch of games. I think he only played in 12. Then, you see him only playing in a few there. He played in a couple playoff games, but for the Lions. But I think I just would go a different direction. Now, up next, I've got Eddie Jackson, and this is somebody familiar with good old Vic Fangio, and he had him at an all-pro level, former fourth-round pick out of Alabama, and he's going into his 8th season. He is 30 years old. They say he's lost a step, and I totally understand it, but this is a guy that is very versatile and somebody we talk about, lining up all over the place. We want that, somebody that knows Vic Fangio's system, perfect for the job, and, maybe he's that big nickel, the dime packages where these guys that are getting maybe a little slower, not so much the guy you're dependent on, to be the starter there, but that third safety. So I would like Sidney Brown to be that starter with somebody else. We'll see how his health goes. Again, probably missed the beginning, so you're going to need a lot more. So that's why we're talking about some depth as well, and I wouldn't mind Eddie Jackson as a depth piece there. And we tried it with Justin Evans, but look, if Eddie Jackson stays healthy, I would like to see him. But again, better options ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fear. So at number 17, we've got ourselves a former Eagle, Rudy Ford, and started in Arizona, then the Eagles, then with the Jags. Now, most recently with the Packers, a former 6th-round pick. And I like Rudy Ford's game. This is somebody that I think I was a fan of while he was here. More so a free safety. Can help you decent in coverage. Had 6 passes deflected, 2 interceptions. I would definitely not mind getting Rudy Ford back as depth, but 29 years old, so got to watch out there. We've got some older guys here to get through, and then we'll keep it moving. But up at 16, another 29-year-old, Tracy Walker III, somebody else that's familiar with Darius Slay, going into his 7th season, and been with the Detroit Lions his entire career here. And I like Tracy Walker's game. I think that he's somebody, with that versatile skill set that could help us. We need guys that are able to do that. 56.7 completion percentage allowed there. So love that. Pumped up to see what, his career looks like after Detroit, because they've got a lot of good safeties. We'll see what they do there. But, Brian Branch, somebody I really wanted in the draft last year. I think Tracy Walker, somebody could come in here, help you as depth, one of those versatile pieces. So had 6 starts last year. Obviously, they are loaded at safety over there, but would not mind giving him a shot. Now, at number 15, I've got Jordan Poyer. And, man, started his career here in Philadelphia, then went to Cleveland. Now, most recently with the Buffalo Bills. Former 7th-round pick, man, and I loved this dude. And, look, he's still got some left. He's 32 years old. I wish he were younger. He would be, top 3, probably the top guy. But I got him at 15 just because – look, if you're drafting someone and you're signing a younger guy and you sign Poyer, then I'm all aboard, man. But you got to add a few here if you're doing that. Wouldn't mind the old man River coming on back. And look, he's only 32, but in football years, this will be his 12th season, but he's still playing at a high level. Love what Poyer is able to do. And look, I like Micah Hyde too, but if I'm taking one of these Bills, I'm going with Jordan Poyer. Up next, we got another Jordan, and this one's Fuller. And I like this kid. 26 years old, coming into his 5th season, coming off that rookie contract out of Ohio State. And look, he started all of the games he played, 17 of them last year, and 63 completion percentage allowed, 3 interceptions, 8 passes deflected. Had a damn good year. I think Jordan Fuller really becoming one of the better corners in the game, and safeties in the game, and I think very underrated. I would take a shot at him, and this list is so damn loaded. I wanted to have him higher, but this was really tough for me, man. I was really looking at a lot of things. So we'll keep talking about it, but I do like Jordan Fuller a lot. And I think that, Fuller, one of those guys that can help you in coverage, strong safety, do all that stuff. He has that versatile skill set. And the same goes for Darnell Savage, who I think this dude is a savage and very underrated. Only got to play 10 games last year. And yeah, that completion percentage looks a little dusty, but take the stats with a grain of salt. And you don't see much other in the stat category, but I'm telling you, I really like this kid's game. I thought he continued to improve coming into his 6th season, former 1st-round pick. I think that there is some talent there. Would not mind giving a shot on the cheap there on him. Now, at number 12, I really like Jordan Whitehead, and we talked about him before when he was a free agent. I think that, he is somebody for me that I don't know why that's not popping up. My apologies. Went over to the Jets, and that defense really, really, is fantastic. And coming into his 7th season, former Buccaneer there out of Pittsburgh. This dude, he played strong safety a lot with the Bucs, then played free safety with the Jets, has that versatile skill set we're talking about. 55.3 completion percentage allowed, 4 interceptions, 9 passes deflected, had a half sack there and a quarterback hit. Really excited to see, what Jordan Whitehead's future holds. He's still 26 years old. This will be his seventh season, but man, he is a stud. Would love to have him on the Eagles. At number 11, I've got Julian Blackman. And dude, Julian Blackman is another one of those versatile safeties who I think, a former third round pick out of Utah going into his fifth season. This is a dude, 4 interceptions last year, 8 passes deflected, couple recoveries there, fumbles, 60.9 completion percentage allowed. This is a dude I would love, definite starting caliber safety. These guys we're talking about are all starting caliber for the Eagles that we're about to talk about. Would not mind taking a shot at Julian Blackman. Now into the top 10. Let me know how you're feeling so far. I've got Alohi Gilman, man. And, this is probably a name a lot of people might not know, but I think he is very slept on. And I almost had him a lot higher on this list. I really struggled here because there's a lot of guys I like, but I like Gilman, man. And if we get him, I am going to jump through the roof. I really think that this kid, him and Sidney Brown together, oh, yeah, baby. Gilman is somebody that has a very versatile skill set, and I think that this would be somebody, we talk about that can, play either strong or free safety. It's really left or right with Vic Fangio. I think he would have a ball with this kid. 2 interceptions, 10 passes deflected, 3 forced fumbles, 63.3 completion percentage allowed. This dude is a stud, and I would be happy to have him. Get to know him. Go check his highlights out. I really think the Eagles would be happy to have him. Now at number 9, got Deshaun Elliott. Vic Fangio and he together last year. This is a former Raven and Lion out of Texas. And this dude, he's still got some. And look, I think that somebody was telling me the other day, like, oh, he's beat, he's old. Dude, he's only 26 years old going into his 7th season. I think people just, they see them on other teams and it gets them carried away. But I think Deshaun Elliott would be a stud here. Would love to have him as a starter. This is somebody that knows the system, a versatile safety that would fit right in here. And the same goes for, a guy that was not starting as much there. But I think, this is a kid that 25 years old, only a year younger, also out of Texas there. But this is a kid, a 3rd round pick. I think that there's some promise there. I would go with Jones over Elliott. I know I sound crazy here, but I just think he would maybe be a little cheaper. Maybe this would be the way. I don't know. I just kind of felt that way as I was putting this together. But let me know how you feel. I would be fine with either of them. But at number 7, I wanted to put Ashton Davis higher. And this is another one of those names like Gilman where I'm not looking at names here. I'm not looking at their Madden rating. I want to know what, and actually I wish I did have that just so we could know what the difference is here. Maybe I'll have to get the new one just to be able to tell that stuff. But a 57.1 completion percentage allowed, 3 interceptions, 8 passes deflected with only 5 starts, played in 17 games, 8 passes deflected. I mean, this dude, coming into his 5th season, he's 27 years old out of California. Former 3rd round pick. I think this kid, we talked about, how much the safeties, what they have over there with the Jets. That'd be crazy if they let him walk. But hey, this is free agency. You never know what could happen. We offer him something. I would be ecstatic there. Now at number 6, man, I really wanted Jeremy Chin back in 2020 draft. And, going into his 5th season, out of Southern Illinois. I think, 26 years old, there is still a lot to be found out about Jeremy Chin, and he is one of those versatile pieces. Vic Fangio, I think, would have a ball with, using all over the place. We talked about Isaiah Simmons with the linebackers. Jeremy Chin is like times 1,000, what I'm looking for there. And this is maybe a guy you want to use more so as that big nickel dime backer. Not really that safety and coverage. Did kind of, all right in coverage last year, but definitely some things to be worked on. I think he needs the right system. He's a weapon. I think you could use him, blitzing him, doing things. You don't necessarily have to have him as a deep safety, but if you get him on the cheap, add somebody else that's a starter and get a young guy, get Sidney Brown healthy, have Reed his depth. That's a really good room. I think that would be great to, give him a shot to revive his career here. Would be all aboard that. Had some injuries, only played in 12 games, 8 starts. So trying to figure out how to use him over there. But I think that Vic maybe could find something, bring it out of him. That would be great. Now let's get into the top 5. Let me know how you're feeling so far. Would you have one of those guys I already talked about in the top 5? Is there some guys you want to, talk about that I haven't seen? Whatever's on your mind, let me hear it. But Cameron Curl here at number 5. And this is a dude that, another versatile piece, but I really like him as a safety, and you can use him in the box. You can use him as that free safety. He's versatile to play in this system. And somebody that, he's good against the run, against the pass. So I really like his game. 6'2", 198. He's a beast, man. He's a thumper. He can cover. I like his game a lot. And I think that this is somebody, that would fit right in here, would be happy to have him. He's only 25 years old. This would be starter caliber. And if you imagine Curl and Brown together, oh my Lord, for the future. Yeah, Brown's got to get healthy first, but you have Reed Blankenship as the third safety. You draft somebody else or you sign another free agent, I would be quite ecstatic there. Now at number 4, try to stay away from age, but this is a guy, 30 years old. He knows exactly what Vic Fangio wants from him. Another Vic Fangio guy. And I think, I don't care that he is 30 years old, still at the top of his game, still covering well, still knocking people out, still doing, he's a safety. This is what you're looking for in a safety. Justin Simmons is the real deal. And, you line him up all over, drop him in, deep. You have him in the box, you have him at nickel or, in the slot doing things as big nickel, dime, whatever it is. But Justin Simmons can do it all. 3 interceptions last year, 8 passes deflected, missed a couple games, but still playing at an all-pro level. Would love to have Justin Simmons. Now, at number 3, I mentioned the transition tag earlier. You can still try to sign these guys. If the offer's not matched, we could have them. But former second-round pick out of Lenoir Rhine, we've got Kyle Duggar, 27 years old, 6'2", 222. And this is one of those dudes that you really can use all over the place. And I'm telling you, man, this is the safety, the nickel, the corner. Yeah, he played some linebacker. This dude does it all. And I love Kyle Duggar's game. If you are going to go all out, you're going to try to steal somebody, try to get yourself a stud. And yeah, you'd have to pay him big time money. And he's only making like 13 mil right now. But if you could offer him, 15 mil, some of these top safeties, I know the Eagles might not want to do that. But if you're going to, Kyle Duggar would be somebody Vic Fangio would have a heyday with, and I would love it. Now at number 2, this may be a big surprise for you, but I love me some Gino Stone coming into his 5th season out of Iowa, former 7th-round pick, 5'11", 210, only 24 years old. Started 11 games last year for the Ravens, and McDonald had him looking all-pro. Dude is all-pro. He is a stud, a very, very bright future coming for him. 63.6 completion percentage allowed. He had 7 interceptions last year, 9 passes deflected, and 11 starts there. So, what? Yeah, Gino Stone, I think that's somebody that you got to look at and realize that this kid, he has got a very, very bright future ahead of him. And if you're going to get a steal of a deal, now, I still think he should get paid, but I really think that this kid, he is somebody that you invest in. You don't have to, obviously pay too much, but oh my God, lock him up to a big long-term deal. Make whatever you need to happen. I love this kid's game, and I think that, he is someone that's going to be an all-pro one day. I truly do believe that. And just watch his career. He will show out. And the Texans did have him for a second there. I think he was claimed. So sorry, I didn't have that on there. But he's been with the Ravens, being developed into something special. Would love to have him. But at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me talk about him for a while. We talked about him the last couple of years trying to trade for him. I really love this kid out of Alabama, former 2nd-round pick by the Giants. Yeah, we know who he is. Going into his 5th year, only 24 years old, 6'2", 201, and this is your jack of all trades. This is your guy that literally does it all. Drop him into coverage, knock somebody out. You want him to be your big nickel dime all over the place. Certain matchups, where he suits better down low in the box, whatever it is, man. Do whatever you want with him. He is a Swiss Army knife. This is a guy that I would dream of having. You're going to spend some money. Eagles go out, steal the divisional opponent, stud safety, and watch him blossom for years to come. And we have been looking for a special safety. And I think, if you're not getting someone like a Stone or Duggar or, a Curl Chin, maybe an old head like Simmons, you got to get yourself a Xavier McKinney. And the city of Philadelphia would lose their minds. I'm telling you, this is the number 1 safety out there, and this is the guy I think the Eagles should be looking to get. It's my number 1 fit. Those are all my fits. I'd love to hear your fits. You got a top 3, top 5, top 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever it may be. I would love to hear it, but that's all I've got for you tonight. If you got anything from this, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. You can always subscribe. Appreciate you guys sharing this stuff. All the things you're doing to support the channel. I cannot thank you enough. Hope you all had a great weekend. This is the end of the free agent series. So Tomorrow when I get back, I will try to put together a show with whatever already happened, whatever is happening. If something with the Eagles, we'll break down the players, everything. It's tampering period, so it won't be official yet. Wednesday at 4 o'clock, everything becomes official, but we'll talk about everything the next few days. If you missed any of the positions, go check it out. There is a playlist. You can watch them all. It lets you know everything just like this one, each position for the Eagles, and then, of course, every free agent out there in the top fits at every single position. Let's hope the Eagles get some of these top guys, because if they do, that is the blueprint to success. We'll do the same damn thing for the draft coming up here in a couple of weeks. Like a week and a half, whatever it may be. But strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Fun times ahead, but love to hear your thoughts down below. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Have yourselves a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!